as the West Coast continues to slowly tally its final vote count, the scale and size of Trump's crushing victory continues to come into focus. He is on track to win the popular vote with 80 million votes, a record for any Republican, and in fact, his biggest gains were in blue states. This is the moment when NBC hosts were shocked.
Swept the battlegrounds. But the other big story this week has to do with the popular vote and how Trump pulled that off. Here's one answer. Big blue states with very diverse populations. This new coalition that Donald Trump's assembled, it meant that he didn't win any of these, but he made some giant strides. California, biggest of them all, 29-point Biden win 4 years ago. Currently, only 18 for Harris, her home state. Look at New York. Basically, Trump cutting that Democratic margin in half. Go down this list and look inside those states and you'll see it. Blue-collar areas, cities, metro areas with large Hispanic populations, that's where Trump made his big gains there. We'll land.
By the way, I would like to argue that if Trump put New Jersey within 5 percentage points of being in play, perhaps New Jersey is now a swing state. He didn't win it this election, but maybe 2028 a Republican can actually flip that state. Who knows? Just saying.
On this one map, one battleground state that I think tells the story of these two coalitions here visually, let's call up Wisconsin. We know in this election, Donald Trump, you're looking at a pre-Trump election because I just want to show you this is what a battleground state looked like not that long ago. When Barack Obama ran and carried the state over John McCain, look at all the blue here. So many of these are small rural counties with blue-collar populations. Barack Obama could sweep almost all these counties. Democrats were competitive here. Take a look at this map, and I'm going to call up what just happened this week. All that blue has become, look at all that red. All of those blue-collar areas with Donald Trump as the Republican leader for the last 8 years have moved this dramatically to the Republicans, and it's left the Democrats relying more than ever on areas like Madison, Wisconsin, Milwaukee County, areas that have large populations of voters with college degrees, of higher-income voters, of progressive voters. And in this election, Kristen, it just wasn't enough for the Democrats to lean on that when they've lost so much ground with blue-collar voters elsewhere.
Steve, it is just striking to look at that map of Wisconsin and, frankly, all the results that you laid out.
Speaking of striking, my favorite map actually comes from the deep blue city of Chicago. Trump became the first Republican to win a single district, ward, precinct, whatever you want to call it, in Chicago since 1992. He won Chicago's 41st ward by a 9 percentage point romp. You love to see that. It's very encouraging to see. Now, before the election, the Democrats were warning us that Trump would lead us into World War III, that he would destabilize the globe. Democrats said that, Donald Trump is a Putin lackey. He's in Vladimir Putin's back pocket, and that he would only empower Vlad to take his war across Europe. Well, the Washington Post has reported that Thursday, Trump talked to Putin. He called him up and told him not to escalate the war in Ukraine. In other words, Trump isn't even in office yet, and he's already telling people waging wars worldwide to, hey, calm down, you can't do that. Not on my watch. You love to see it. Now, Byron Donalds actually had the best post on this. He posted on X about what he's calling the Trump effect. So within 72 hours of winning the election, all of this happened under Trump. By the way, all of this is true. You can fact check it. You can Google this. So Trump has named the first female chief of staff, Susie Wiles. So talk about a glass ceiling shattered. New York City has announced that they're going to stop giving debit cards with taxpayer money to illegal immigrants. U.S. companies have announced multiple, especially in manufacturing, that they're bringing production home. The stock market hit all-time record highs. Bitcoin and a ton of different cryptocurrencies are also hitting new highs. The migrant caravans that were coming to the southern border have disbanded and are going away. Qatar agreed to evict Hamas. By the way, Hamas announced that they now want an immediate end to their war with Israel. You just go down the list and it's victory after victory, and Trump isn't even in office yet. Because they know he means business, because they know that he is a strong leader, and what we have right now is not strong leadership. And whenever there is a vacuum on the global stage, bad actors and bad players will want to try to fill that vacuum. Well, those bad players and those bad actors know that Donald Trump, he's coming back to the center with his strong leadership. He's going to put the U.S. back in the middle, and that vacuum is now going to be filled by us and not by all those other hooligans. Now, Democrats still have no idea why they lost, despite all of this, despite all the obviousness of it. And I really have hope for the next generation of voters. There is this video from a high school. Speaking of Chicago, it's from Chicago, of a lone male student standing up against not just his teacher, but all of his classmates. And they're all attacking him for supporting Trump. They're all attacking Trump. And he's saying, what are y'all even talking about? And he tries to push back. This is a really impressive video. And I think that we see this a lot. And I think that when people, young people, whenever they see videos like this going viral, whenever they realize that they're not alone in their beliefs, when they realize that, hey, maybe their teachers aren't just teaching them, but are actually indoctrinating them with things that shouldn't be part of their educational curriculum. I mean, I think this video is really powerful.
I don't even like you.
What right is he taking away from women?
He don't like your race. He will spit on you. He don't even like
What right is he taking away from
He
women?
don't like y'all. He don't like none of us. He don't even like his own race.
What right is he taking away from women? Y'all still not answering my question.
Answered that.
I've
You're
been
just
asking for
dumb.
like 5
We
minutes.
answered it.
What was the answer?
We answered it.
Y'all brought up education once I asked that question. Because
Because
y'all don't even know what y'all talking about. Y'all just go on Twitter, look at what they say, and just run with it.
Myron, you go on Twitter. I watched the debate. I heard everything.
Y'all
you
thought
said.
he was taking away abortions. He can't even do that.
Myron, what debate did you watch?
Yo, he's so stupid. Yes, please look at the Chromebook. So I want to see what right he's
I don't
taking.
wanna look
Let me
at no
search it
Chromebook.
up.
Go look at
What
the
right?
debate. Go look
Let's
at
see
the
what
debate.
right he's taking away from
Go look
women.
at what he's saying
Let's see
now.
what right he's taking away from women. Let's watch it.
Okay,
watch
let's
it.
see what he's giving you when he is.
No, what
president.
right is he taking away from women?
Let's see what he's doing for
Because they said that last time.
The right to an abortion was over.
And y'all also said Project 25. He also said publicly he's not going to do no Project 25.
He's a liar. Do you believe him?
He said,
Nigga,
Y'all only want Kamala Harris.
your body, my choice. That's what Nick.
Why do you need an abortion? Why do you care about abortion? You're in high school.
It doesn't matter. It's
You're in
not
high
about
school.
Women get pregnant. Women our ages get pregnant.
Is you
And they
getting
get
pregnant?
raped.
Is you getting pregnant? Did you get pregnant once?
I shouldn't have to fear that though.
Are you even a? You're probably a virgin. You worried about the wrong things, yo. Abortion is never one of y'all lists. We got wars. People trying to have war with us, and y'all worried about abortion. Yo, when they slow, y'all worried about abortion. Y'all not even having sex. Like, look at y'all.
It don't matter if we was.
Then we have to take, let's focus on the antebellum era during the Civil War, the origins of the Civil War.
Yeah, let's focus on that. 'Cause people don't want to talk about how Trump is a good president. What's wrong with voting for
But
Trump?
that we could, well, just listen, that we could still be friends after the election. I said, no, we can't.
You stop being friends with us because they voted for Trump? Teacher, honestly, way more.
He's saying you can still be respectful and that you can still have mutual terms with that person despite others having different
What are you talking
sides to
about?
other.
He just said his friends, those that he hang with, and correct me if I'm wrong. You said they asked you is you still gonna be cool after this? Right or wrong. So what are you talking about, ma'am?
No, that, again, let's not single anybody out, Myron.
No, because he said that's not what you said. I'm like, what are you talking about?
She said anything.
Everybody entitled to their own opinion now.
Right. So
Right.
why would you cut somebody off because they voted for Trump?
He didn't say, well, he can do
But
what
you
he
can't
wants.
dominate the discussion.
I never said because.
If you want
You want
to,
to cut somebody
if
out?
you want to have some input to the dialogue, then you have to do so in a respectful manner and to be tolerant of each other's views. Now, just because I think I expected that our country citizens were more decent.
Because they voted for Trump, they're not?
Yes.
What?
They're
Jared.
He's a messed up person.
Don't give it. What?
No, wait.
Our citizens not decent because they voted
No,
for Trump?
wait. You have your views, and I have mine. I'm entitled to mine.
But that's why you cut them off,
So
because you
if
don't
I have
correlate.
friends that tell me that, oh, MAGA, 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 I can't be friends with them.
Because he voted for Trump.
Because
Exactly.
What?
you don't get it. It's
Some
like you
people
don't
can't have
want to
their
surround
own
yourself by somebody
opinion.
who
Trump
doesn't.
is a good president. Some of y'all are blindsided about what y'all hear on the internet.
You know, I really hope, I really hope he stays true to his convictions. I hope he keeps his backbone. I hope that he doesn't get bullied into submission. I don't know whether or not I would have had that confidence at his age to be in a classroom and have the teacher say, "You're dominating the discussion," when literally everyone in the classroom, plus the teacher, is speaking out against you. That takes guts. That takes courage. That takes conviction. I hope, I don't know that young man, but seeing that, I'm really impressed, and it really gives me hope about the future of the country. Please don't become indoctrinated, please. Now, 2 more things I want to get to. I don't know if y'all saw it, but there was this news report of a FEMA worker telling other FEMA workers and volunteers that, hey, if you see a Trump sign, if you see an American flag, don't go to their house. Well, apparently that woman was found and she has officially been fired from FEMA. This is according to the Associated Press. FEMA worker fired after directing workers to avoid helping hurricane survivors who supported Trump. This happened in the great state of Florida. She is gone. If you are on the ground, if you hear something, say something. The only way this kind of bigotry gets stopped is if we call it out and we hold government officials and those in power accountable. So kudos to those who reported her, and I'm glad that that was taken care of. Last but not least, so on this channel, we've been talking about and sharing videos about women who are shaving their heads because they are so upset about Trump winning. And it turns out that shaving their heads is actually really offensive to a lot of people. And those with alopecia and those who are fighting cancer are now fighting back and saying, hey, y'all don't represent us, and what you're doing is actually triggering us and is really offensive to us. I thought this was a powerful video.
I am not part of this fucking trend. Stop. Stop. There are people that have lost their hair, like me, and it has been devastating. You guys stop. This is ridiculous. I'm not part of this trend. Not part of it. I have alopecia. But you guys claim to be so caring and kind, but look what you're doing. You guys are not realizing that you are triggering people that have lost their hair, that have cancer. Shaving your head because you think you've lost your rights, you didn't lose your fucking rights. You guys are a bunch of fucking crybabies, just like I'm being right now, because you guys have started a trend that is now affecting people like me and people that have cancer. Good job, assholes.
Ma'am, you're not a crybaby. You are actually being hurt by people who have no perspective of the grand scheme of things, by people who are, taking lightly the actual privilege that they have, the privilege of having hair, and trying to make a dumb political statement based on just being detached from reality. So you are very valid to have the feelings you're having. And by the way, for everyone else, I don't know about you, but to me, you can tell she's telling the truth. Those aren't crocodile tears. Like, she is actually moved and hurt by what these radical leftists are doing, and my empathy goes out to you. Now, as always, all of this is just my analysis, my commentary. This is what's going on in the world of politics from my point of view, and I would love to hear from all of you. What do you think about that NBC segment? Are you impressed by those moves, those gains that Trump made in deep blue states? Or were you expecting that? So you're not so impressed, but you're happy that your prediction came to fruition. And specifically, what do you think about New Jersey? I know I've talked about this a bit on the channel, but for New Jersey to be within 5 points of flipping, I really do believe it could be a swing state. And here's the thing, you don't realize a state is a swing state until after it flips. It's only after it flips that it becomes designated as swing state. However, for those who are paying close attention, there are always signs along the way that pinpoint, a flip doesn't happen overnight. It is years, maybe decades in the making. And so, is this just a trend line that's momentary thanks to Trump, and then it's going to revert back to the baseline once all is said and done? Or is this part of a larger term trend? Let me know your thoughts, your predictions down in the comments below. If you haven't already, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. I know it's a simple thing to ask for, but it really does help me in the algorithm to reach more viewers like you. If you want to meet my dog, who a lot of you comment is sleepy, he is actually not very sleepy. He's one of the most active dogs I know. I do have a routine to get him to nap whenever I film. home, and I will share that with you, share his name, as well as my cat's name, their adoption stories, baby pictures, videos, fun stories. They're really interesting. Both their adoption stories are... they're not what you would expect, is how I would describe both of them. And all that being said, if and when the channel is lucky enough to reach 100,000 viewers, subscribers, that's how we're going to celebrate. It's not going to be about me. It's going to be about the pets, introducing them to all of y'all, and then obviously celebrating everyone who's subscribed to the channel, and some special shout outs along the way. So if that piques your interest at all, be sure to smash that subscribe button and to check out one of these videos.